Hello everyone, welcome back to Mohika Creates YouTube channel. Today I am here to teach you all how to draw this beginner friendly eye in which you will be requiring materials which you probably already have in your home. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm using is a printout paper to draw this, and I'm going to be using Artline pencils which has 6 different pencils from HB to 10B. So these are perfect for shading. I have mentioned these in my previous video also. If you have not watched it, go watch it yet. And both of these materials are very easily available. They might already be in your home. So first, to draw the eye, I am using an HB pencil. HB pencils are used for drawing. If you don't have one from Artline, you can use a regular writing pencil. Those are also HB pencils. Just don't use an extra dark one, or if you have an extra dark one like from Apsara, then apply very little pressure while making it, because while drawing our only concern is to get the lightest lines possible so that we can erase it further. So first you have to draw a rectangle like I have done and make the guidelines to set your eye. I am making this so that it is easier for you all to judge how to draw the eye and the proportions of it. The size of the rectangle does not matter, but you have to carefully notice where I am placing the eye inside the rectangle, and where it is touching, like I have touched the inner corner of the eye to the left side of the triangle, a little below the center line. So just observe the shape of the eye, which is an almond shape we are making over here, and just keep the pressure on your pencil really light. You can also use a clutch pencil or a mechanical pencil. Just make sure it has a very thin lead. It should not be a 2B mechanical pencil. It should be an H mechanical pencil or an HB one. So we have drawn the shape of the eye and the eyelid, and now we are just giving a rough idea of where the eyebrow will go. Make sure you are noticing the placement of the eyebrow, where I have started it from. I have started from an angle to the eye, and then I have stopped it right where the rectangle ends till the bottom line. You can touch it till the center line if you want, but I wanted to stop there only. So this is just a very rough drawing we are doing over here. The real shading and everything will begin afterwards. First, it is very important to get the structure of a drawing right, which is what we are working on here, and don't rush into it. As you can see, this is also a non-sped up video. I am showing you a real-time video in which I am drawing this. It might take you a bit more longer, since I have been drawing such kind of an eye since I was a little one. When you're beginning, your focus should not be on your speed but how to get things right, and that will only come with patience. Art needs a lot of patience, especially when you are in the learning stage. So I have also drawn the pupil, and now we are gonna make the under eye bags, which will give a more realistic look. The main thing while drawing an eye is that you have to understand the anatomy of an eye. The more you understand it, the better you will be in making it from your own imagination, like I have done over here. You don't really need a reference to make an eye. As for me, I would say it is my favorite subject to draw an eye since I was a child, and I have been making so many of them, and this is the kind of eye which I feel is very beginner friendly, but still it will teach you a lot about art. So now I am erasing the box and the guidelines, as it was just to help you understand the drawing better and the proportions of the eye. So once you have the practice of drawing it with the box, you can try to make these proportions yourself without using the box, and then you're good to go. So I'm just refining my drawing once again, which got erased. It will happen, don't worry about it. These things are very common. It's nothing to worry about at all. Just be sure that you don't erase too hard, that you completely erase your drawing and you don't know where you made what. So, yeah, now we are just giving more volume to our eyebrows using HB pencil only. We will be switching to other pencils now for shading. So as you can see, I'm drawing the hair of the eyebrows in a very natural direction. You have to keep it a bit messy as our eyebrows generally are like that only. It is not in a straight line, or you don't have to do very harsh shading on it. If you will do very harsh black shading and make a box to draw your eyebrows, then it will ruin your drawing and it will take out the realistic aspect from it. So now we are taking a 2B pencil and we are just gonna give more refinement to our eyes, make it a little bit darker, as we're gonna start with the shading now. We have already set the shape using the HB pencil, and yes, we'll be going over the drawing over and over. We'll be building up more layers with 2B, with 4B, 6B, 10B, and so on. Even though we are not focusing on a hyper real eye, it is still important to make sure of these little things, as it will help you to understand the eye better. And if you are able to draw such an eye, then trust me, drawing a pro or an advanced eye which is hyper real won't be difficult for you. So now I have switched to 10B directly, as I'm only gonna be using it to darken the pupil, which is the darkest area of anyone's eye, be it gray color, be it a blue colored eye, or any color eye. The pupil is always the darkest region, so we are gonna define it first. So this part of the drawing is just like filling an OMR sheet circle. You don't have to get the darkest part out of the circle. And only if you're making sure of these little things, or like keeping the shape of the circle as much defined as possible, then only you will be able to get the results. If you make it a bit oval or something, it will, not give a good look. So now I'm just filling the base of the eye with the 4B pencil. And while doing this, you have to make sure that you are exerting the same pressure throughout filling the eye, as we just want a very clean and even finish right now. We will be adding more layers on top of it. It's up to you till which point you want to keep adding layers. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you the essential parts only for a beginner who has just started out drawing and has probably no idea how to draw an eye. So now we are just making the lines in the iris of the eye, which is the colored part of the eye. So these lines are very thin and yes, darker than the base which we did, so that it's visible. I have left a little part here and there for the light to reflect. You can also keep the shading till here if you wish, but I'm gonna be adding more layers for a depth. So in shading, I like to go from light to dark, and so with each layer we are switching to a darker shade of pencil. Now we are using the 6B, earlier we used the 4B and 2B. So the darker you want a shaded area to look, you have to go higher in the number. For example, 4B is darker than 2B, 6B is darker than 4B, and so on. So if you are using 2B to darken an area, it will give very harsh lines on your paper, and it can probably also ruin your paper if you exert too much pressure on it to achieve a very dark look. and yet the darkness won't be that much. So it is important to know which pencil to pick up for which part, and this is exactly what we are focusing on right now. So you can see while using these pencils, I am exerting the same amount of pressure on every single one of them, yet the darkness is different. So now I have taken the 8B again to darken up those lines which we created as they got a bit merged with the layer, and it's all right for it to happen. Even while creating a realistic eye, you will go through these same steps only, but till that time you have to keep on practicing making such eyes, as it will give you the satisfaction, the confidence, and the courage to try. So even if your eye isn't exactly the same shape in which I have drawn, but it is still giving that feel which I have created, then it means you're doing it right. And you have to keep on practicing and keep on taking different references. In the beginning, you have to take references. You cannot just simply draw it from your imagination. You have to learn how to create the curves of the eye and everything. While shading the iris, it is very important that you do not, you know, make very harsh edges around the iris, which is the colored part of the eye. So you have to make a very smooth, shaded, round circle part. So now I am shading the eyelid using a 4B, and it's just important that you start with the lightest shade first so that you can layer it up and refine it with the darker ones. If you are just straight away going to the darkest shade, it will be difficult for you to lighten it and correct it. So always go from light to dark. So one important thing that most beginners miss is that they do not shade on the skin part of the eye like I'm doing right now. If you're making it on a plain white paper, then it is not gonna bring out that depth, because even if you're making a colored eye, you always make the skin area also, which is in between your eyes and the eyebrows and behind your eyebrow as well, and till your lower lid. So I'm just giving a very light shade throughout. You can also do this step first in the beginning before doing anything else also, as the skin is the base layer. Over it only the eye is placed, and over it only the eyebrow is also placed. It is not like the eyebrow is placed first and the skin is coming on top of it, right? I forgot to do this first, but it's all right. You can definitely do this right now also, as we are gonna make the eyebrow over it once again. So now we are just blending the skin with our finger. You don't need any other blending tool in the starting. Just using your finger is enough, guys. Just make sure that you're exerting a very minimal pressure through your finger and don't rub too hard, and your finger should be clean, otherwise it will leave the prints on your drawing, which we do not want. So now I have blended the skin, and now once again I'm gonna darken things up with 4B. I'm gonna place our eye again on top of our skin. If you also forget to do something like this, then it's okay. You can always correct your drawings at a later stage. It nothing, to me at least, I feel that most of the things are fixable in drawing and in art, especially when you are using graphite, because you have an eraser with you. So most of the things are fixable. That is why it's my recommendation to you all that if you are a beginner artist and you have not explored any mediums yet, or you are confused which medium to explore yet, you should definitely start with graphite first, because first the basic of art is to improve your drawing skills and your shading skills. And with graphite, it is just easier because you don't need tens of thousands of tools. You just need a pencil, an eraser, your finger, and that's all. So now we are going to start making the eyelashes. And eyelashes is one thing that beginners do not know how to make. And many of you will make mistakes here. The main thing is that you have to keep your eyelash curved. It should not be flat. It should not be a straight line. You can see I'm marking different curves around my eye, and I'm starting from inside the eye. I'm taking it from inside to out the way it naturally flows. For the lower lashes, it is important to keep a little space between because that is the waterline, and from there our lower lashes are coming, and you have to keep it curved. It has to be random curves. You can make it a bit more curved, but make it look natural. So now I'm adding a little bit small eyelashes here and there because our eyelashes are not of the same size or the shape. The more you keep it raw, the more realistic your eyelashes are gonna look. And make sure to bend them and start from the inside of the eye to the out. And like you can see, I'm taking the eye from literally, I'm taking it from inside my eye. You can see a part of the eyelash is covering my eye also, and that is important. You need to have those lashes coming inside your eye a bit as well. So now I have again taken the 8B and we are darkening the eyelashes and adding more depth to it. So just focus on the way I am using my pencil. You need to have a sharpened pencil for this. If you do not have it completely sharp, it's fine. You can use it like I am using, but it is important to know that you do not make it very thick. Make it in proportion to your eye. Our eyelashes are very thin, so make sure that you don't overdo it and just darken the areas where it's needed. So now I'm using the 8B to refine the eye a bit more, and we're gonna do the same with the lower lashes which we did for the upper lashes. We're gonna add some more tiny lashes here and there and make it darker. For it, I'm sharpening my pencil as the lower lashes are even more precise and you need that pointed effect. So yeah, you have to sharp your pencil here and there again if you want a cleaner look. Otherwise, you will have an average drawing, trust me. You need to focus on these tiny details because these tiny details are the ones that make your art stand out and look professional. Also, guys, I wanted to know your opinion on something. Are you more comfortable with the language English or Hindi or English? Please let me know in the comments so that I can do the voiceover accordingly. And guys, I really hope you're enjoying this tutorial. If you are enjoying it, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can see that after doing the eyelashes, the eyes are suddenly starting to look more alive. So that is the importance of making the correct amount of eyelashes in the most natural curves possible. And also, guys, these eyelashes, the lower eyelashes, will always come below the waterline, outside the waterline. If you observe your eyes in the mirror, you will see that there's a line above it which is the shape of your eye, and that line is called the waterline. So observe that area of your eyes in the mirror, and then you will be able to know why we have drawn the eyelashes below that line. So now I'm just erasing those areas in which I did not want the shading to be that much, and now we're gonna blend it all, give it a natural finish so that it doesn't look too white. And as you can see, we removed the waterline too. But don't worry, we are gonna create it again with the eraser. I erased it because I thought that it was not looking that natural. So yeah, we are lightly erasing the waterline part so that it looks more real, keeping the shading intact, and I'm again blending it over using my finger so that it does not pop out too much. And we're gonna refine the waterline and our eye shape again with the pencil, just the amount we need so that it looks natural and not too odd. And you can see I'm filling it a bit with my pencil also so that it does not create a very harsh line around the waterline. We need a very soft blending. If you will observe your eyes, there's a very soft blending of it. And don't worry, it is again looking very dark around yeah the white portion of the eye. So we are just erasing to bring back the highlights and the whiteness of the eye. So you can always erase to show the highlights, and erasing is the best way to show your highlights. You cannot add a white color on top of your graphite drawings or use a white pen. That looks a little bit unnatural to me. You can do that, but the right way to do is to erase it. Put a darker tone underneath where you want your highlight, and then you just have to erase it from the top. So now we are gonna go back to our eyebrows. For that, I'm sharpening my pencil again because we have to give very fine um, strokes right now, because this is the final touches we are giving. We are enhancing the eyebrow shape, for which we actually need to show those hair strands. When your hair strands are visible, only then your eyebrows will look real. But guys, do not forget that you need a base, a blended base below the eyebrow, like I have made right now using my finger only. Over that only you can place those fine strokes. You cannot place the fine strokes first and then lay the base. The base always has to come first. I hope you are understanding that by the base I mean the blended shading underneath, which is the skin, which is the merged hairs, as you can see in your own eyebrows, and only the fine strands are visible on top. But the base is also showing underneath. You don't have to hide that completely. Otherwise, your strands will look merged. And do remember to give a little gaps and white spaces here and there so that your strands look separated. Don't place them too close, or don't place them too far apart from each other that it looks unnatural. Okay, and if you feel like your base isn't looking that good, you can blend it over again with your finger, and then you have to add those fine strokes on top again. So I don't know how this pencil stroke came over my eyebrow, so I'm just erasing it. And you can see whenever I'm erasing something, I'm immediately blending it together as well. Because if you won't blend it, then it will look unnatural from that area, because those layerings you have done for the other parts would not be there for that area in which you have just erased. So make sure to layer as many times as you did in that particular area also, if you're erasing something. So now, just to add the highlights to my eyebrows and make the strands look more separated, I'm using the eraser to separate those strands a bit more to make it look more real. And I'm using a very regular eraser, just a pointed part of it, So guys, you do not need to buy the mono zero eraser in the beginning. You can always do a jugaad, like cutting your eraser or using the backside of your mechanical pencils eraser. That mechanical pencils eraser is a big savior when it comes to show those very tiny areas of highlights. So, guys, our basic eye drawing and shading is almost over till this step. Whatever else you're gonna do or add to this, it's up to you, it's up to your level and the amount of time you're willing to take, and to make this piece look even more beautiful. So whatever we are gonna do after this is just refining of our work, which is very very important in a professional artwork. Whenever you are doing a commission work or something like this, the refining and the finishing part is the most important. Everyone does the drawing and you know the basic shading and all, but the refining and the finishing you do truly shows that you are a professional, that you value the cleanliness, you value those individual strokes, those tiny details which no one else will probably see. But as an artist, if you are seeing something that does not look good in the end, or you missed a tiny detail, or there's a minor mistake, then it's your duty to fix it. It won't, maybe other person won't even notice it, but if you are doing it and if you're a true artist, then you must take care of those tiny details, those tiny fixes, and the finishing and refinement, guys. That matters a lot, truly. Other people may not notice it in the beginning, but this is one thing which will truly make you and your artwork more and more better. So guys, from this point of the video, I want you all to really observe how the eye is looking right now and how it will look like in the end. We are just refining things, we are not making the drawing. Right now, we are not adding the basic shading. We are just refining things. We are darkening those strokes, darkening the darkest areas more to bring out that depth even more. So, you will yourself see how much of a difference refining the whole drawing will give. I will go over the whole drawing once again in the end, like I'm doing right now. I will go through every area which I think needs more refinement and detail, more darkness, to actually, blend everything together and to make this artwork even more alive. While refining tiny areas like the eyelashes, make sure that your pencil is pointed enough, otherwise, you might ruin it, because in the final stages you need proper refinement, proper shape and everything. So make sure you guys do that properly with patience. You can see I'm taking my time in doing all of this. I am not hurrying anything. I am working on my normal speed. So, whichever is the normal speed for you guys, you have to work on that. You don't have to compare to me. Every artist has their own journey. I did not draw like this when I first started out drawing. I am drawing eyes since the age of, I don't know, 8 or 10, and at that time, I couldn't even think of drawing an eye like this on my own. So, yeah, it will take you some time. You have to look up to references, you have to look up to different artists and get inspired. And by knowing something truly will help you to make that thing from your own imagination. You cannot draw a subject until you are aware of each and every part of it. And even if you're not aware of each and every part, at least you should be aware of the basics to make a subject, right? So you can see I'm adding the highlights with my erasers, and when I'm adding the highlights especially, I'm blending it again with my finger because I need that not to pop out too much that it looks unnatural, right? So guys, do let me know if you like this tutorial. Whatever you learned, I hope you learned something from it, and I truly hope that you got the motivation to start, because until you will not start, you won't get better at something. People say that talent is inborn, you're a natural artist, it's in your genes or whatever. But those who are artists, they truly know that it is a skill. Art is a skill which is practiced, it is learned. It does not come naturally. It can come naturally a bit that you have an interest in it, but it is a pursued interest. Talents are pursued interests. If you want to learn singing, then you have to practice for that. If you want to learn dancing, you have to learn that. It does not come very naturally. You can, what comes naturally is your hold on your pencil, firm hold on your pencil, the way you hold it, and those things come naturally. But this knowledge, how to shade, which pencils to use, how to paint, what each medium requires, those things do not come to you naturally. You have to learn from a professional. Even I used to think that self-taught artists are wonderful. Wow, they draw this learning on their own. But even those artists have seen someone do it, either on YouTube, either on any other social media, in their family, in the class, or whatever, or through experiment. You definitely learn through practice. I'm not saying that you cannot learn something through practice, but for that, you need observation. And to become a professional, you really need to get the in depth knowledge which you cannot get on your own, because you need proper practice and training for that. And that is truly essential, and it will literally level up your skills. If you want to be in this field or any field, we always spend on courses. If a thing could not be learned, then why would people teach it? That is the only answer I have for the people who say that talent is inborn, or it cannot be learned, or I cannot draw. That is just false. It depends on you. If you are willing to practice it, you can learn it. You can be as good as I am, or even better than I am, because I am willing to practice it daily. That's why I am here today. So I guess that is enough motivation for today's video. I hope you guys really get serious for it if you want to pursue this hobby as a profession, and keep practicing daily. Don't take the fun out of it. Enjoy the learning process. By enjoying, I do not mean that you take it very casually. Of course, you have to learn seriously in the beginning, but don't learn it in pressure, I would say. Do it at your own pace, but do give time to your interest, your hobby daily. It will make you feel so much more happier, and the more you practice and the more you get better, you will see your daily progress. And trust me, you will look back and say, wow, that I really improved by practicing daily. So, guys, our refining part is over, and now you can see the eye looks so much more alive, doesn't it? I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. See you for the next one. Bye.